Hey guys, I'm here with my son Dakota. He is 9 years old and he's had multiple rapture dreams. Well, multiple prophetic dreams in general, and we don't know everything that they mean. But anyways, so you got to check those out. But I wanted to ask him a question. I did not ask him beforehand. Dakota, why don't you tell everybody what you think we should do if Jesus doesn't return in September? What should we do?
We should just still be faithful, and we know he's coming. So just have patience and be faithful and keep on praying.
Yep, that's awesome. So I wanted to kind of address the whole, okay, what if it doesn't happen? Because honestly, I post these things on Facebook, a lot of people's testimonies and things, because I just feel like, you know what, if he's coming back, I don't want to have not shared, because I want everybody to have the opportunity and the chance to be raptured and to be with him. So, but I know that there's a lot of scoffers and just people watching from the sidelines, oh man, is she going crazy? Is she off her rocker? Does she need some medication? Did she take her medication? And I think there's a lot of Christians just kind of on the wait and see from the sidelines, okay, well, I guess I'm going anyways, kind of a thing. So I guess I'll just hang out and kind of not put myself out there. But I just want you to know, I'm not ashamed, and I don't feel like, oh, all my pride's on the line. If this doesn't happen, this needs to happen, or, I'm defaced and my reputation's ruined, kind of a thing. I mean, of course it's scary. I'm not, I wouldn't be human if I didn't have some feelings about that. But more than anything, I spent most of my life being afraid of what others thought, and not as afraid of sharing Jesus with people who I didn't know, who were strangers, as much as I was afraid of sharing Jesus with people that were friends or family, because you have more skin in the game, right? It's a higher stakes situation. And I've kind of reached the point in life, at age 45, and just feeling like I've really spent some of my life being ashamed of just bearing his name. I don't care, if people on Facebook or whatever unfollow me or friends disown me. I mean, it would hurt if they're friends. It would hurt a lot. But at the same time, I have an audience of one. My faithfulness is to Jesus and nobody else. And so all that to say, if the rapture does not happen, I'm still going to love Jesus. That's not, to me, that's not the great falling away, people have talked about, it talks about in the Bible, the great falling away that will happen. This isn't that, because what this has produced in me, and I know a lot of people that I'm watching online, has been nothing but fruit. I mean, the best thing that we can do, okay, let me put that a different way. If the worst thing that happens is that we start looking at our relationship with God and start, doing some self-examination, and even more importantly, letting him examine our hearts, if that's the worst thing that happens, who cares? That's awesome, right? I know for me, it's lit a fire under me, oh my goodness, I really think he's coming back this month. I feel like the air is different. I feel like he really is pouring out his Spirit on all flesh, and that there's revival happening in my heart, and I know a lot of people's hearts. And so don't hold your breath. You know, if you're a skeptic or you're a scoffer or mocker, just making fun of it, or just feeling like, yeah, I don't know about that. If you're a believer and just like feeling apathetic about it or whatever, don't feel sorry for me, and don't feel sorry, I should say, for a lot, if not most of the believers that are kind of stepping out saying like, we're very, very close, because it is producing good things. It's producing a fruit. And it does say that in the Bible, that, you know, those who watch for him, you know, will have a special blessing. And to me right now, that blessing is just the Holy Spirit, like being woken up every morning, just feeling this like sense of urgency and the Holy Spirit all over me, and wanting to like just read my Bible. Like I just want to sit home and read my Bible. That's like what I want. That hunger, that return to the first love that Jesus talks about in Revelation, the book of Revelation. And so I just want to encourage you, like, we're fine. We're okay over here and in my camp. And if he doesn't return in September, I know it's going to be soon. And if for some reason he decides to tarry, and that, I shouldn't say for some reason, if he decides to wait longer, that's for people. That's because of his heart of gushy love for people and wanting us to go with him, and knowing, I mean, the church is not ready. The church isn't ready. I know that from having, you know, hundreds of people, friends on, you know, quote unquote friends on Facebook, and having like crickets when I post something about it. The church isn't ready. Even Christians don't want to think about it, because it's a disruption, you know, to routine. It's a disruption to our plans and the things that we thought was going to happen, and the plans that we had for our lives, and the things coming up, and the things we're looking forward to, and maybe the anxiety that we're scared. What if we're not going? And it's just too uncomfortable to think about, you know, all those things. So anyways, I just want to encourage you, if you're sitting on the sidelines, really examine your hearts and think like, why is that uncomfortable to think about? Because it has to happen sometime, right? So anyways, I hope that blesses you. Blessings to all of you. You want to say bye, Dakota?
Bye.
I'd like to thank him for jumping on real quick here with me. Okay, bye.